You finally get a quiet evening. No urgent messages. No conflict. Nothing is falling apart. And yet, your body does not relax. Your mind starts searching. What did you forget? Who might be upset with you? What problem is about to appear? Peace should feel safe. But somehow, it feels suspicious. You may experience this in ordinary moments. A healthy relationship feels strangely boring. A free weekend makes you restless. When someone speaks gently, you search their face for hidden anger. When life becomes stable, you create problems to solve. Not because you enjoy suffering. Because uncertainty may feel more familiar than safety. Over time, this can change how you see yourself. You may call yourself difficult, negative, emotionally unavailable, or incapable of being happy. You might question good decisions, simply because they do not produce emotional intensity. And without realizing it, you may confuse activation with meaning. Psychology offers a gentler explanation. You are not broken. Your brain may simply be repeating a pattern that once helped you survive. If you lived through unpredictable conflict, emotional neglect, constant criticism, or unstable relationships, your nervous system learned an important rule. Calm does not always mean safe. Sometimes, calm means you have not noticed the threat yet. So your mind became watchful. That watchfulness was an adaptation. The problem is that an adaptation can continue working long after the original environment has disappeared. Your brain is a prediction machine. It does not wait for reality to fully unfold. It uses past experiences to predict what is likely to happen next. Imagine an internal security guard who spent years working in a dangerous building. Even after moving to a peaceful building, the guard still checks every door. Every silence becomes suspicious. Every unfamiliar sound becomes evidence. This is related to hypervigilance. Your threat system becomes sensitive because detecting danger too early once felt safer than detecting it too late. There is also a simple mental model you can remember. Familiar does not always mean safe. Unfamiliar does not always mean dangerous. Chaos may feel familiar because your brain has practiced it. Peace may feel dangerous because your brain has not yet gathered enough evidence about it. The discomfort is not proof that something is wrong. It may be the sensation of your nervous system learning something new. And that learning can be approached carefully. First, name the prediction. When peace makes you uncomfortable, ask, what does my mind expect to happen next? Do not argue with the answer. Simply identify it. Maybe you expect rejection after closeness, criticism after success, conflict after silence. Naming the prediction activates more reflective parts of the brain and creates distance from the automatic alarm. For example, when your partner becomes quiet, you might notice the thought, they are preparing to leave. Instead of treating it as a fact, recognize it as an old forecast. Second, separate activation from evidence. Your body can feel threatened, even when the present moment contains no clear danger. Pause and identify what is actually happening. What can you see? What was truly said? What evidence exists right now? This works because attention can update the brain's predictions. For example, your chest may tighten when your manager asks to speak with you. But the observable facts may be simple. Their voice was neutral, no criticism was mentioned, and the meeting is scheduled for next week. The alarm is real. The emergency may not be. Third, practice small amounts of peace. Do not force yourself to feel completely calm. That can become another demand. Instead, remain inside a safe moment slightly longer than usual. Sit for 5 minutes without creating a task. Accept affection without immediately making a joke. Let a quiet evening remain quiet. Repeated safe experiences teach the nervous system through exposure and prediction error. Your brain expects danger, but danger does not arrive. That difference slowly updates the internal map. Fourth, reduce manufactured urgency. Notice when you create pressure, because stillness feels uncomfortable. You may check messages repeatedly, start unnecessary arguments, overwork, or mentally rehearse future disasters. Choose one interruption. Place the phone down. Delay the unnecessary reply. Let the problem remain unsolved for 10 minutes. This weakens the behavioral loop that connects anxiety with immediate action. Finally, build evidence rather than demanding trust. You do not need to convince yourself that everything will always be fine. Your brain will not believe promises that large. Collect smaller truths. This conversation remained respectful. I rested and nothing collapsed. This person stayed consistent. I felt anxious, but I did not abandon myself. Think of peace as a room your nervous system has rarely entered. At first, you may stand near the exit. You may inspect the walls. You may listen for footsteps. That is understandable. You do not have to force yourself to feel at home immediately. You only need to stay long enough for the room to become familiar. Peace is not always instantly peaceful. Sometimes, it first feels like vulnerability. Sometimes, it feels like waiting. But with enough honest, repeated evidence, your brain can learn a new prediction. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is coming. And for this moment, you are allowed to stop searching.